nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
From Software are back with Dark Souls 3, and the Kingdom of Lothric brings visuals to a new level, offering some of the most awe-inspiring and jaw-dropping landscapes the series has ever seen. For a game that is focused on gameplay over visuals, it's refreshing to see new landscapes open up as you progress, even if it's just to take your mind away from the killing for a brief moment. Exploration has been opened up more so than in any other previous Dark Souls game, encouraging players to explore every nook and cranny of Lothric, with treasure and loot in abundance. One of the biggest requests from after playing Bloodborne was to have a wider arsenal of weaponry once again, and thankfully Dark Souls 3 delivers with more loot than ever seen before in a Dark Souls series game. Developer From Software also play homage to previous Dark Souls games in the form of loot, lore and even locations. All of these moments that I've experienced throughout my playthrough continue to add a smile to my face, even after the moments of pure frustration didn't dampen my delight at acknowledgement of the past games. Newcomers to the series expecting to jump in will be faced with the challenges and frustrations that all players have to go through. Side quests can be missed in an instant, optional locations can be missed completely, so for newcomers and veterans alike, you have to keep your wits about you. It's no surprise at all that Dark Souls 3's combat is the most fluid and diverse in the series. Taking the new combat system directly from Bloodborne and adding a classic Dark Souls element led to a very satisfying combat system. Weapons are now more broad in variety. Previous Souls games always delivered a plethora of weapons, most end up being replicas of other items, with just minimal differences in aesthetics. With Dark Souls 3 this is no longer the case. The weapons now have very unique special abilities, often helping with specific situations or against certain enemies. We found ourselves often changing weapons based on the area alone, which in turn made the arsenal feel much bigger and contain a much more variety than what we were used to dealing with in Dark Souls. One of the more progressive changes to the way that Dark Souls 3 plays is with the magics and spells that you use. You can now unlock Estus flasks to your liking. Instead of just having one that heals you, you can now have one that gives you mana back. This simple change allows sorcerers, clerics and pyromancy users of the world to have a very similar experience to that of any melee class. Just like the primary weaponry and armour in Dark Souls 3, the spells are plentiful and from our experience extremely cool to play with. The enemies in Dark Souls 3 are very diverse and well fitted to their locations in the game. Some of the new enemies will frustrate you beyond belief, and there are a multitude of traps scattered about which lead to your death when you first reach a new area. But the enemies never came repetitive. Dark Souls 3 allowed its enemy types, both old and new, to breathe and force us to adjust to their different attacks, keeping us on our toes throughout. Dark Souls 3 is a huge game, featuring an impressive amount of bosses, including some which are optional. Each boss is unique in its own right, hitting hard and challenging player from beginning to end, not letting up at any point. More often than not, bosses will take place over multiple stages. At the time that you'll run out of flasks or just manage to grab that final hit, only to discover the fight is not over, a feeling that can only be described as gut-wrenching. Dark Souls' PvP system has also been improved. Now, more often than not, you'll have multiple people invading your world. Not only to kill you though, but some will come to defend you as well. These battles can be long and drawn out, but just like the rest of Dark Souls 3, the feeling of accomplishment when you banish invaders from your world is fantastic. Dark Souls 3 is one of the most challenging games we've ever faced. The classic one step forward, two step back scenario, seen in previous games, is ever present in Dark Souls 3. The rewarding feeling you get after clearing a zone or killing a boss you've been on for the past few hours is one that will never get old. If it is truly the last Souls game, then Dark Souls 3 is a fitting end to the series.